My first video of 2026, I want to make it special and really worth your time. So I will be talking about what I learned from perfume content creation and what I think about the perfume community. And that includes myself and the whole perfume community itself. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Joanna and I do reviews and recommendations of affordable and luxury fragrances in my channel. Now, if that sounds appealing to you, then please do continue watching and consider subscribing. So first thing that I want to talk about is my number one perfume resolution, which is to purchase less perfumes. Last year, I received a lot of PR bottles and I am very, very grateful for all the brands that I have or I started working with. So that really contributed to why I spent less. And also I was successful in not buying full bottles unless I finish a decant or like a small sample size of a perfume that has a big potential to be added in my collection. Honestly, I think I purchased only like around 10 or maybe 12 because from the previous years, I am definitely buying the double or triple of that. So I'm very proud and happy because of that achievement last year. This 2026, my goal is to focus on underrated niche, affordable, or indie houses and to let you guys know about them. I have already travel plans this year. I'm definitely going to Exans in Milan, TFWA in Cannes, Beauty World, Dubai, and probably Paris Perfume Week. So a lot of exciting trips and discoveries for sure. Sooner I'll be traveling to Dubai and Philippines. I will definitely be coming out with new and interesting discoveries in 2026 to begin with. And now let's shift to my biggest advice to you guys. This is coming from a content creator slash consumer perspective. The number one advice that I'm going to tell you is that you don't need 100 plus perfume bottle collection. Actually, nobody needs 100 bottle perfume collection. And I know I'm guilty of this because I have hundreds of perfumes in my collection. However, in my defense, it is because this is what I do now. I review perfumes. So that is the reason why I have these perfume bottles. Nobody needs a big collection just to smell good because what matters is how a perfume makes you feel. Perfumes will give you compliments. However, the way you carry yourself and the way you treat other people give lasting impression. So it doesn't matter if you're wearing original, dupes, luxury, niche, indie, Middle Eastern. The most important thing is that you feel good about yourself. That particular perfume that you chose to wear makes you feel your best. Let me give you a backstory because this is what I learned about traveling the world. I used to travel for a living. I was a flight attendant from a luxury airline for 13 years, but I've been flying in total for 15 years. I'm a retired flight attendant now. So aside from traveling for work, I used to travel for leisure as well. And I'm telling you, I did it all. From luxury vacations in the Maldives down to hiking and sleeping in tents in the middle of the forest kind of trips. And what I learned is that it doesn't matter how much you spent actually in that vacation, but how did the vacation overall made you feel. My most expensive trip was the hardest and not so glamorous trip that I have ever done. So we went and climbed the Kilimanjaro. Me and my husband did a private tour. That's why it was very expensive. We slept in tents in the cold, training. Like it wasn't the most pleasant vacation. However, it is my favorite out of all the trips that we ever did in our lives. And why is that? It's because of how that trip made me feel. Why am I telling you this? It's because in my humble opinion, that is applicable to life in general. So yeah, before choosing any perfumes to purchase, value how it makes you feel. Next up is a very random but still a big advice for you guys. No amount of perfumes can cover body odor. And I know not a lot of people talk about this, but I think it's time for this topic to be widely spoken because let me tell you what, I've been to many perfume events, okay, last year. And I've been to an event, a perfume event, wherein I smelled someone who was having like really bad odor. And that person, okay, I'm just going to refer to that person, a person, not a he or not a she, because I'm not going to tell you who it is, okay? That person showered themselves a perfume. However, the body odor was lingering the entire time. And I'm talking about this topic because I remember as well when I was still in first class from the luxury airline that I used to work with, we used to collect jackets from first class passengers and actually keep it in a storage. And guys, imagine first class passenger, however, the jacket stinks, okay? So aside from taking shower, you have to use a deodorant and at the same time, you have to wash your clothes as well before putting on that favorite perfume of yours because no perfume can cover body odor. And I'm talking about bad body odor. All right, now let's go to the controversial part. What do I think about the Middle Eastern perfume market? First of all, we all know that Middle Eastern perfumes skyrocketed last year. I started my channel 3 years ago talking about Middle Eastern perfumes, and I've never seen perfume releases like last year because it was insane. Perfumes nowadays are becoming fast fashion. Can we just talk about the redundancy of perfumes that we consumers don't need? Like how many versions of Angel Share, Bianco Latte, Delina do we need? How many times a Middle Eastern perfume brand has to rebottle the same perfume over and over again and sell it as a different perfume? What do you think? Like, aren't we tired of the same dupe of a dupe? If I can give advice to any Middle Eastern perfume brands, of course, you didn't ask for this. However, I'm just saying my opinion in my YouTube channel. Can we focus on doing something new and creative this year and not just focus on what already exists in the market? And I'm talking about something that is widely existing already, please. Also, I want to talk about something very controversial. However, I'm just going to say it because this has been in my chest for quite some time now, and I think I need to get this out. To all Middle Eastern perfume brands, if ever you sponsor someone to your perfume brand trip or whatever, can you make sure that person actually believes and likes your products? Because I think it's somehow ruining this community. I know, shots fired, but I think I've seen so much this year, especially attending all these perfume events, and it's just wild. There's a lot of money involved, okay? This video is not to attack anyone, but honestly, I don't blame the influencer. I blame the brand for inviting someone whom they know doesn't even talk about them. I think this is one of my biggest ick when it comes to the Middle Eastern market, especially after what I saw in beauty world. I think the audience are not really dumb or stupid. There's a lot of people who are realizing this because it's so obvious when a particular influencer shifts from talking about this kind of fragrances to something that they never talked about. And I think it's ruining the whole experience for everyone because it's becoming like a domino effect, especially for us content creators. Now everybody thinks that we are all paid. But yeah, I wish that I'm paid. I've never done any sponsored video from perfume brands, by the way. I have affiliate links and I receive PR bottles which I think is just fair for all content creators. Actually, I'm gonna dive into that later on. Yeah, that's just my honest opinions and thoughts about the Middle Eastern perfume brands. Now, let's talk about what I think of the niche perfume market. I think after what I learned from last year and the previous years, talking to perfume owners, sales and marketing managers of perfume brands, this is going to be another shots fired, but I want to see some perfume niche houses to stop making overpriced, mediocre fragrances. Actually, the biggest learning that shocked me last year was that the packaging and the perfume bottle is more expensive than the juice itself. So I know a lot of perfume brands are claiming that their ingredients are of top quality and high quality. Yes, of course, I believe in that. There's a lot of perfume houses, even affordable ones, who use top and high quality ingredients, even purchased from the same distributor. I'm aware that you have high quality slash very good ingredients, but can we stop making overpriced perfumes? That's something as well that I so wanted to say for a very long time, because we all know about the feud between luxury niche fragrances versus dupe houses and, you know, Middle Eastern perfumes. Most houses have exquisite packaging and bottles, and they actually cost a lot, okay? And yeah, as mentioned, I was shocked to learn that sometimes the packaging and the bottles are more expensive than the juice itself. Lastly, to the whole perfume community, choose who you trust. There's a lot of changes that occurred in the perfume community last year, and I guess if you are around this community for a very long time, you notice it as well. There's a rising amount of perfume reviewers out there. I've seen them in action in different perfume events that I attended for the past years. And I'm telling you, I've seen how people do anything just for views. And I guess this is not just about the perfume community. This is for the whole content creation thing itself. So as a content consumer, please choose who you trust. Not everything you see in social media is true. All these discount codes and affiliate links, these are a very small percentage of the money involved in this industry. And honestly, as a perfume content creator, I think every content creators deserve PR bottles and affiliate links. You may agree or disagree with me, but that is how I see it. I've been purchasing products since 2015 online, and I know that when I use those affiliate links, that person who recommended it to me is gaining a commission, and I am okay with that because that's how it works. Imagine instead of paying like a celebrity that cost millions who actually never used a specific product, now it's equal opportunity for everyone. And to me, that is just fair. I don't want to change anything about that. Content creation is a lot of work and dedication. That's the least thing that they can give us. Now, what's happening is that there are paid videos as well. That's why you have to be very careful in who you trust in social media. I'm not going to mention names because this video is not about attacking content creators, but I guess the ultimate lesson here is that you are what you consume. So if you are the type who just wants to buy new perfumes every month or every week, you're going to watch a perfume content creator who wants to talk about new perfumes because that's your vibe. You just want to buy perfumes. You want to have a big collection. You are responsible of what you pay for. It's your money. So I'm cool with that. Now, if you're the type who wants a curated collection, then you'll be watching different type of videos and probably believing someone who has very similar taste with you. and that is your decision. Like, nobody is forcing anyone to press add to cart. So yeah, just be accountable in the kind of videos that you are watching, because just like what I said, at the end of the day, you are what you consume. So choose who you trust. So that is the video for today, guys. I know it sounded like a rant, but I tried my best for it not to sound like a rant, because honestly, it is more of like how I see the perfume community these days. And I've been holding these topics for a very long time. And yeah, so now I want to know what you think about the points that I've talked about in today's video. Do you agree or you don't agree? How do you see the perfume community nowadays? Write me something in the comments down below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and see you on my next one. Bye!